What's up guys, Pocketcraft here to bring you another top 10 video. This video will be a list of the 10 Pokemon I believe deserve a Mega Evolution the most. Last video I did the top 10 Pokemon that should evolve, and I did mention that this video would be coming up sooner or later, and I thought I might as well do it next. I'd also like to point out that this was by far the hardest top 10 list I've ever had to come up with, and it's probably ever changing. But as of right now, this is my opinion, and it's my opinion alone, so please don't dislike the video if you have a different one, because we're all different people, and we all have our own personal preferences. Oh yeah, and I'd quickly like to say that this list will not contain any of the star Pokemon or any pseudo legendaries, as I'm sure most of us can agree that they deserve a Mega Evolution anyway. Anyways, I've been talking on for long enough, so let's get this shit started. Kicking things off at number 10 is Nicolas Cage. I mean Milotic. I've always viewed Milotic as sort of a counterpart to Gyarados. Okay, maybe not as badass as Gyarados, but a counterpart nonetheless. And as you know, Gyarados received his Mega Evolution in X and Y, so I believe it's only right that Milotic receive one as well. Up next, at number 9, is Araados. I'm sure a few of you may agree that this guy deserves a higher spot on the list, or even just a standard evolution rather than a Mega. But I just couldn't really picture Araados with a second stage evolution. To me, he looks cool enough to be the final stage in his evolution chain, and thus, I think what would suit him best is a Mega Evolution. That being said, stats wise, Araados isn't very good. I love this guy, but he seems to be neglected a little, other than his respectable move pool. So if Game Freak were to give this Morpho a Mega Evolution, they'd have to give it some pretty big upgrades to make up for it. Rockin' number 8 is Relicanth. All of Relicanth's Pokédex entries are very similar. They talk about how it's a rare Pokemon that has remained unchanged for over 100 million years. Fair enough, because of this Pokédex entry, Game Freak giving Relicanth an evolution would be contradictory, but that's no excuse not to give him a Mega Evolution. I mean, we all know that Mega Evolution is a special way of evolving, which involves magical stones which change the DNA of the Pokemon it's used on, or at least something like that. So it really wouldn't be breaking any rules. I actually think a Mega Relicanth would be pretty awesome, and I'd definitely use one during Wi-Fi battles if it came into existence. Number 7 is another water type Pokemon. Yes, I like water types. At number 7 is Sharpiedo. Almost every kid considers sharks to be one of the most badass creatures out there, and I'm very surprised that Game Freak haven't shown Sharpiedo with much love over the years. I mean, excluding the much loved Garchomp, Sharpiedo was like the only shark Pokemon out there, so doesn't he deserve more? I've always liked Sharpiedo. I think he's often forgotten about, and I believe that a Mega Evolution would do him great justice. I mean, his stats aren't bad, and his move pool is pretty decent as well, so I don't think he needs a standard evolution, but he definitely needs a Mega. Taking that number 6 spot is Shukla. Some people have said that Shukla needs a standard evolution rather than a Mega, but I disagree. I mean, if you take into account the Eviolite item, which raises the defense and special defense of the Pokemon's stats by a whopping 50% when held by a Pokemon that's capable of evolving. Look at Shukla's stats, or rather, his defense and special defense. They are massive. If Shukla had a standard evolution, that means the Eviolite would work for this guy, and he'd be overpowered as fuck. The main reason I think this kid deserves a Mega Evolution is because of his other stats. I mean, look at them. They're terrible. If it were up to me to give Shukla a Mega Evolution, I'd probably raise his attack stat a little, just so he can fend for himself more, and probably up the HP stat, and possibly his already massive defense and special defense stats. Not by a ridiculous 50%, but just so he's even more durable in battle. I mean, come on, we all know that Mega Pokemon are already overpowered, so why not have a Mega Shukla? At number 5, we got Castform. Castform is an artificial Pokémon that was created in a laboratory. On top of that, it has multiple forms, which can be changed dependent on the weather. Because of these reasons, I don't think a standard evolution would suit Castform very well. Castform is a strange guy. Like Spinder, all of his base stats are the same, meaning you can choose to train any stat you want with Castform, and it won't really matter, as none of them are beneficial to the other. Because of this, I think a Mega Castform would be a great idea. He's already a normal type, which means he can learn a bunch of different moves, so in competitive Wi-Fi battles, you wouldn't really know what you were up against when facing a Mega Castform, as you couldn't properly predict which of its stats had been trained. Now that I think about it, I really love a lot of the Gen 3 Pokemon, and Castform is no exception. Maybe Game Freak could even introduce a sand form for Mega Castform if he battles during a sandstorm. Number 4 is Kingler. I'm very partial to Kingler. He's quite possibly my favourite Generation 1 Water type Pokemon, so part of the reason he's so high up on this list is probably because I love him so much. That being said, I really think Kingler deserves a Mega Evolution. He has great attack, but because of his terrible speed, Kingler barely ever hits first. Even its Pokédex entry talks about how it tires quickly because of its massive claw. So honestly, I think a possible first course of action with Mega Kingler would be to give him a speed boost. Of course with this, Kingler's design would have to be changed in probably a more streamlined shape, but I'll leave that up to Game Freak. Another alternative to an upgrade in speed would be a boost in either the defense or special defense stats, or possibly both, which frankly, I think would suit Kingler a lot more than speed, being a giant crab with a hard shell. For some reason, I've always pictured a Mega Kingler to have a metal shell and be part steel type, but that's just me. Now the top 3 Pokemon on this list were very hard to rank, so they are probably roughly around the same level. Anyway, at number 3 is Machamp. Being one of the original 4 Pokemon that required a trait to evolve, it's only right that Machamp gets a Mega Evolution, along with Gengar and Alakazam. I love Machamp. He's definitely one of my favourite fighting types, and I love using a no guard ability Machamp during Wi-Fi battles. I think a Mega Machamp would look good with 6 arms. Some may agree that that's overdoing it, but I don't think so. I also think that a good theory with Mega Machamp could be that the Mega Stone actually allows him to safely lose his Power Save belt and unlock all of his reserved hidden power and potential. Judging from the previous Pokemon in this list, you could probably guess what was coming next. That's right, at number 2, it's Golem. I've always felt like Golem was the most neglected out of the 4 original traded Pokemon. He's got the worst total base stat out of the 4, and unlike them, he doesn't have an awesome ability or a Mega Evolution. On top of that, he's definitely the most underused. When I look at Golem, all I see is potential. With a Mega Evolution, I think Golem could finally lose the stones covering its body and reveal itself to be a badass rock type lizard or something. Losing the stones could also be a good excuse for Golem to gain some speed, because frankly, it's terrible. This guy may be number 2 on this list, but he's probably the number 1 Pokemon I'd like to see receive a Mega Evolution. It really bothers me how poorly he's treated compared to Gengar and Alakazam. The moment you've all been waiting for, people. At number 1 is Gallade. Okay, so the obvious reason that this guy is number 1 is because his other half, Gardevoir, received a Mega Evolution in X and Y, but he didn't receive anything. So there's really no better Pokemon I could have put at number 1 in my opinion. People, including myself, often complain when a particular counterpart of a Pokemon receives some sort of boost and that Pokemon doesn't receive anything, such as Mawile receiving a Mega Evolution and Sableye being left out. Another example was when Dusknoir was introduced in Generation 4, but Banette didn't receive an evolution. This time, it's different. This is like giving Espeon a Mega Evolution, but leaving out the other evolutions. It's also similar to how they gave Blaziken a Mega and left out Sceptile and Swampert. I just don't think it's right. Gallade is definitely one of my favourite Pokemon, and unlike most people, I prefer him to Gardevoir. I understand that Gallade kinda had the edge to Gardevoir before Generation 6, as he was part Psychic and part Fighting when Gardevoir was only a Psychic type, but not only did they even that out by giving Gardevoir the Fairy type, they made Gardevoir much better by giving it a Mega Evolution. I could go on about this topic for ages, but all I'm gonna say is that there's no Pokemon more deserving of a Mega Evolution than Gallade. So in conclusion, I believe that Leonardo DiCaprio deserves an Oscar because... oh wait, never mind, wrong thing. Okay, so if you guys enjoyed the video, then please give it a like and feel free to subscribe. I said it on the last video and I'll say it again. I will be doing a giveaway at 1000 subscribers, so please share the video with all of your friends, and if you have any ideas for future videos, just drop a comment or message me. Anyways, have an awesome day and I will see you next time.